I'm talking today about the Internet of Things. This is the phenomenon of all objects being connected to the internet that were previously not connected to the internet, like refrigerators. Now there's smart refrigerators. Watches. Now we have smart watches. We've been having smartphones for a while now, so we're pretty used to that. This is going to change the way that we work. It's going to change the way that we collaborate, and it's going to have a massive impact on the world in general. We've already been experiencing that impact, maybe in ways that you have not realized. So we want to understand how that technology works and what that impact is and will continue to be. Again, IoT is the Internet of Things. How does it work? Well, in order to understand how it works, we have to understand that IoT is broken up into four different categories. And each category is basically defined by the technical capabilities of the technologies powering the connection. So at the lowest level, we have massive IoT. And massive IoT, this is our lowest bandwidth, highest latency connection. And it's used typically for sensors or meters, monitors that don't need to send huge amounts of data or send it with a great amount of availability. It just needs to periodically send telemetry to a central source. And these are typically really small chips. So it's called massive IoT because they're massive quantities. Up from massive IoT, the next level is broadband IoT. Broadband IoT, as the name suggests, this is a broadband connection. So this is your typical user internet connection. So this is basically like 5 megabits per second up to like a gig per second. And in broadband IoT, this is typically like smartphones, smartwatches, smart refrigerators. It's used to connect to web browsers. It's sort of your everyman's IoT connection. Up from broadband IoT is critical IoT. Critical IoT is for objects that require very high bandwidth and very low latency and very high availability, meaning it doesn't go down. Basically, what we're talking about here is 5G. And critical IoT is for really extreme object connectivity situations like remote surgery or hydraulic robot machinery, or virtual reality. So these very data intensive applications that require a stable connection. Now, kind of to the side of critical IoT in a separate category is industrial IoT, which is also called IIoT. It's very fun. So IIoT is basically objects in an industrial environment. So this could be sensors and meters that are, tracking, food processing or, oil going into a pipeline or something. Or it could be as sophisticated as remote controlling a robotic arm in a factory. That would be like a critical IoT application in an industrial environment. So that is industrial IoT. So those are our four levels. We got massive, critical, broadband, and industrial. So what is the impact of bringing IoT into the world? The main thing we're concerned about here is cybersecurity of IoT devices, because by introducing all of these internet connected objects into our world, we're introducing that many more opportunities for hackers to infiltrate our networks. So we're in a new situation now where we don't just have to worry about protecting our servers or our desktops. We have to worry about protecting our refrigerators and our HVAC system, because if a hacker could get into one of those objects, that then would give them an opportunity to reach other computers in the corporate network. So this can get pretty dicey. And also because typically IoT devices don't have the computational sophistication to adequately protect themselves from hacking. So we have to be extra careful with how we introduce IoT devices into our environment. It's a major concern. We have to worry about protecting the IoT devices as well as we protect everything else. We have to worry about having a monitoring solution that gives us visibility into what's happening with the IoT devices. Additionally, we have to be concerned if the means by which we're connecting these objects is a commercial cell service like 4G or 5G. If these objects are connected to a cell service, basically what we're doing is connecting it directly to the internet. So you have all these corporate assets that normally would be within our security perimeter, like in our corporate network where it's behind our corporate firewalls and we all feel really good. Now it's actually just connected directly to the internet. It's an unprotected connection. So this is a major concern for IoT in general. Now, the good news is that we have a new technology that is becoming very popular very quickly for good reason that will address most of the cybersecurity concerns around IoT, and that is zero trust. Most IT professionals are probably very familiar with zero trust because we're all in the middle of implementing it right now or have implemented it. But essentially, a zero trust architecture works by forcing all devices to authenticate whether or not they are internal to our network or external. And this is good for IoT because we're basically figuring out a security solution that extends trust beyond our trust perimeter. So it won't matter that IoT devices connect directly to the internet. With zero trust, we can ensure their safety even out there. So this will continue to be a viable solution for organizations to implement, which is good because it is a very powerful tool that we're already benefiting from and is only going to become more influential as connectivity technology gets better over time. So I hope that now you understand more what IoT is, how it functions, and what it's going to mean for us moving forward. Thank you.